Good evening, voters. In the run-up to the 2014 general elections, a few months, 6 months before that, riots broke out in parts of Uttar Pradesh. As the parties were gearing up for the big elections, they went for create communal tension, trigger riots, polarize, communalize, and then get your votes out of that system. In that process, 62 people died, many more injured, and at least 50,000 lost their homes, were displaced forever from the place that they called home. That was the impact of what happened on ground. 5 years later, we are yet to see any kind of justice being delivered to those victims. The 62 victims and their families are still waiting for justice to be done. What has instead happened is that the Uttar Pradesh government, led by Yogi Adityanath, has decided that they are going to look into about 130 of the cases against the rioters and see if there is merit or if they were politically motivated, and then withdraw the cases. In my hand, I have letters. I have 5 different sets of letters that have been sent by the UP government. This one is dated 17th of January. This one is dated 5th of January 2018. 21st of February 2018. 23rd of February 2018. And each of these letters are asking for details from the DM of Shamli and Muzaffarnagar for cases. That is how the process begins. We are looking at a situation that if we do not raise questions tonight, if we do not ask about the intentions, and if we do not ask about the delivery of justice, these cases may be withdrawn against those who promoted violence, who destroyed property, who rioted, who attempted murder. There's a short report of what has happened and who has said what, and then we begin our debate.
In 2013, in the run-up to the 2014 general elections, riots broke out in Muzaffarnagar, Shamli and neighbouring areas. At least 62 people were killed, hundreds rendered homeless. Now, 5 years later, the Yogi Adityanath government in Uttar Pradesh may withdraw cases against these rioters and haters under the garb of closing politically motivated fake cases.
यही पता चला जी कि एफआईआर बंद करने को कह रहे, तो हम ये चाह रहे कि एफआईआर बंद ना हो। हमारे वालिद साहब गुजरे हैं जी इसमें दंगे में जी, तो बहुत परेशानी उठाई है, इसीलिए हमने चाह रहे मुकदमा चले, उन लोगों को सज़ा मिले जिसने हमें इतने पूरी तरह से निकाले वहाँ से जलील करके, और बहुत दुर्दशा ख़राब की है जी।
कौन कौन था आपके परिवार से?
मेरे वालिद साहब थे जी, और गांव के बहुत लोग थे, 13 लोग मरे थे जी वहाँ।
That is the sentiment which many of these people are carrying. This is an area which has been built up by those people who migrated from Lisard. There were 13 murders which happened in Lisard, and many of these bodies were not even found. But after this move, which is now being presented by the government, suddenly there's an amount of disgrace feeling which is rising in these people who have faced the riots of Muzaffarnagar in the year 2013. We have been coming here time and again, but whenever we are coming, the morale of these people are going down because of the sentiment which has been shown by the government.
हम लोगों के पास 3 मामले ऐसे आए हुए हैं जिनमें हम लोग टिप्पणी बना के शासन को उपलब्ध करा देंगे, और अंतिम निर्णय शासन ने लेगा कि प्रोसिक्यूशन को विड्रॉ किया जाए अथवा ना किया जाए।
अभी तक किसी पे आपने कोई कमेंट भेजा, कोई लेटर का कोई जवाब भेजा?
नहीं, अभी परीक्षण चल रहा है, परीक्षण के बाद भेजा जाएगा।
The state government had received applications from leaders of all parties. Over 62 lakh cases are pending before the courts in Uttar Pradesh.
समाजवादी सरकार में पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड मुकदमे दर्ज किए गए थे, फर्जी मुकदमे सैकड़ों की संख्या में लोगों को फर्जी नामजदगी करवाई गई थी, और मुझे लगता है उनको बहुत दिन से इस बात की सोच थी कि दूसरी सरकार आएगी तो उन्हें न्याय मिलेगा, और न्याय की तरफ एक कदम है, मैं कह सकता हूँ।
मैं ये समझता हूँ ये बहुत ही निंदनीय कदम है सरकार का, और पहले उन्होंने अपने केसेस वापस लिए। इस देश की कानून व्यवस्था, न्याय व्यवस्था में वो बाधा पैदा कर रहे हैं।
Suddenly dawning of wisdom. How convenient is that now after what has happened recently, after Gorakhpur? So suddenly now the saintly yogis are coming out and telling us why they're withdrawing the cases. Everyone knows this drama.
जो मामले कोर्ट में विचाराधीन हैं, जिनमें एफआईआर दर्ज हुई है, 60 से ज्यादा लोग मारे गए हैं, पूरे दुनिया में इस राइट की चर्चा हुई है, ऐसे में जुडिशियल प्रोसेस को इन्फ्लुएंस करने के लिए इस तरह के केस वापस करना हम अच्छा नहीं मानते।
Meanwhile, the BSP and other opposition parties have slammed the BJP government for trying to withdraw the cases. Opposition parties have termed BJP regime as an example of appeasement. But is the Yogi government's move to withdraw 131 cases of riot in the state justified? The debate begins.
I have three very simple questions tonight for our panelists. Question number one, is this a case of protecting rioters? Is this a case of giving an exit to the haters of Uttar Pradesh? Or is it a case of closing politically motivated false cases? Question number two, have successive governments failed in giving justice, failed in putting the rioters in jail? Remember, the riots took place in 2013. Yogi government only came to power last year. What was the previous government doing till then? Question number three, should the state withdraw the 20,000 cases that it has decided to against political leaders? It claims these are politically motivated cases, in other words, false cases against the netas. Should the state do that, and what should be the scrutiny that is implemented here? Let's say good evening to our guest this evening. Representing the BJP will be Anila Singh, who will be joining us shortly. I've also got representing the Samajwadi Party, Ms. Juhi Singh. Vikram Singh, former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, with us. Good evening. Good to have you with us, Mr. Singh. And Mr. Khemka, good evening to you as well, lawyer for the Delhi High Court. Mr. Singh, I want to come to you first to try and understand for our viewers, what is the procedure? 5 years ago, riots took place. There are about 1,000 cases. 130 of them are being considered to be withdrawn. How does this work? Can the state really do that?
Tanvi, the provisions of Section 321 of the Criminal Procedure Code gives you the authority to withdraw cases, and the procedure is that it is done by the prosecuting officer with the concurrence of the presiding judge, and then the case is withdrawn for three reasons. Number one, public interest. Number two, inconsistency with the current ethos. Third, with preconceived or whether there has been vendetta. And the two Supreme Court judgments I would like to quote. One, Shiv Nandan Paswan, and the other given recently by the Allahabad High Court. They clearly say that the PO, the prosecuting officer, cannot be a post office. He has to apply his mind. The judge also is under no obligation to observe the dictates of the state government. The judge also has to apply his mind and see what public interest is being served in the withdrawal of the cases. Number two, whether it is a fact that the cases that were registered were out of prejudice, out of malice, or out of vendetta. Third, what public interest was served and is likely to be served if the ethos or the ecosystem has changed when the case was registered. And lastly, the chances of convictions are minimal. Now, it is a very debatable issue how this dynamics works. The very fact, as you showed in your trailer, that the officer was saying that we have submitted our report for the government to consider, he seems to be putting the cart before the horse. The government doesn't decide it. It's the government to whom the report is sent. The very fact that a systematic way in which the reports are being collected, that goes to show that there is a scheme of things. There is already a roadmap prepared for preparing a dossier. And that doesn't seem to be absolute. Things don't seem to be in position at all.
Mr. Amit Khemka, do you think the move here is to protect rioters, or the move here is to remove the false cases? And more importantly, how do we ensure that under the garb of closing for politically motivated cases, the genuine cases are not removed?
Tanvi, when we were in law college, our professor told us that 321 was a section which was to be utilized sparingly, which was to be utilized in exceptional circumstances. It was not something which was to be utilized in the normal course of the things. This is what we were taught. But unfortunately, after joining the profession, in last 34 years, what I have seen is that successive governments have used it for political purposes. There is no government or no political party in this country who can say that it has not misutilized Section 321, be it Kerala, be it Andhra Pradesh, be it Madhya Pradesh, be it Gujarat, be it UP, be it BJP, be it Samajwadi Party. You go to any political party or any state, it has been misused to the core. I mean, absolutely everybody has done it. How can you say that 22,000 cases are politically motivated? I can understand if you examined one case and you came to some conclusion that, okay, the circumstances are such where this case should not go on. It has to be a very, very objective decision. It cannot be, I repeat, you cannot do it in this manner that every case which was filed in last so many years is politically motivated, or all cases against politicians must go, or all cases in Muzaffarnagar riots must go. So this is absolutely absurd. No one in his senses can support such a move. And why is it? I mean, how come it is the political people who are the applicants? I can understand if the persons who are the accused or the victims or somebody connected with it is coming forth and requesting the government. Here it is the political leader who is absolutely doing it for the political gains.
It looks like to me
that he is trying to make a political constituency out of it.
Yes, absolutely. You know, there was a meeting that took place between a group of these CUP leaders and some BJP leaders last month. And they went and met the chief minister. One of them was quoted saying in a newspaper report that people are getting anxious, people are getting restless because the cases against them are not being dropped. Now, it looks like that mentality कि हमारी सरकार आ गई, हमने अपना काम कर दिया, अब सरकार बन गई, तो अब हमारे फायदे का काम कब होगा? Anila Singh, to you the same question. Is it a case of ending closing false cases or protecting rioters?
Tanvi, can you please repeat your question?
Is it a case of protecting rioters or is it a case of closing false cases?
See, Bharatiya Janata Party is one political party, or I can say it is the only political party in India who has a strong faith in the legal system of our great country. But at the same time, when somebody says, or some political party or people, when they accuse us that we are there to protect rioters, or we are trying to protect or support people who were involved in instigating riots, it is not so. Majority of people who are behind the bars in today's state, they are the victim of vindictive and appeasement politics. We very well know that how 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots, they took place. And it was a result of hand and glove crime committed by Samajwadi Party and Congress.
Where is the evidence?
Were together in it.
Where is the evidence?
In painting Muzaffarnagar and Shamli with the red color of blood. So this bloodshed was done by Samajwadi Party and
do you
Congress,
have evidence?
And just to please
do you have evidence to prove
one
that
category
at a
of
time
people
when the questions are being asked
so many innocents behind the bar?
Here are the charges, here are the sections that have been used. Rioting with armed weapon, voluntarily causing hurt, intentional insult with the intent to provoke, promoting enmity between groups on grounds of religion and race, attempt to murder, wrongful restraint, punishment for criminal intimidation, causing grievous hurt, assault or criminal force to deter public servants from discharging their duty, related to every member of unlawful assembly guilty of offence committed in prosecution of common object. Now, do these sound as serious charges to you, Ms. Singh, Anila Singh?
I just know one thing. I know simply one thing, that if a non-biased, a proper step would have been taken by then government or the police administration in Muzaffarnagar, this riot would have never ever happened.
No, that's not the answer to my question.
No case registered on friends and relatives of Shah Nawaz who killed these two boys, and from there everything started. So
I do not care about your political agenda right now. Please try and understand. 62 people died in that riot, Anila Singh. I don't need to give you the breakup. I don't need to give you the breakup of those 62 people who died. 50,000 families were displaced. The question I'm asking you is, I read out charges to you. I read out the charges to you. Do you think these charges are serious? Do you think these charges are serious? And somebody who's been accused of these charges must face investigation. Ma'am, let me complete my question, please. Let me complete my question, please.
Children were not spared, women were not spared, youngsters were not spared, and even old people were not spared.
Can I finish my question? Do you believe that these charges are serious, and anybody who's been accused of these charges should face proper investigation and a trial, and the court should be allowed to decide, nobody else?
True. And that is why Chief Minister, yes, absolutely.
So why is the Chief Minister stepping in and asking for details of these 130 cases?
No recommendation, Tanvi, let me complete, please. No recommendation has come from Chief Minister's office in today's date.
Okay.
Sanjeev Balyan with his some of his MLAs and few more people, they have requested Chief Minister
so Rajesh
to withdraw
Singh,
these cases, but no recommendation has come from CM's office.
Vishesh Sachiv of the Uttar Pradesh Shasan has written letters to the district magistrate of Muzaffarnagar and Shamli. I read out the dates of at least 6 different letters that I have in my hands from different times in January and February, and each letter says the same thing. I have been instructed to ask you for the details of these above cases related to 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots. Is this UP government's official letter or not?
When somebody...
This is the regular process for what? For withdrawal of cases?
I'm telling you, this is a regular process. When somebody requests for the withdrawal of the case, then such inquiry letters are sent to the district magistrate and the SP to answer. So this is what I am telling you.
Great. So 130 such requests are being entertained. I must tonight.
He has recommended.
I am appreciating the Uttar Pradesh government. Such efficiency. They got 130 requests for their cases to be relooked at, riot cases, attempt to murder cases, promoting communal enmity cases, and very quickly and efficiently the Yogi government of Uttar Pradesh has decided to look into all of these 130 cases and ask for information. Juhi Singh, why couldn't your government show this kind of alacrity till the time you were in power?
I'm saying in clear words, I really wish all these cases are taken back. I'm saying,
can I speak?
I really wish these cases are being taken back.
Please. Okay, fine. Anila, your wishes are on record. Tanvi, about more than 1100 cases were registered when the Muzaffarnagar riots took place. And the person you are mentioning who went to the newspaper and said that the people were requesting, himself is one of the accused. Mr. Balyan, Mr. Suresh Rana, Mr. Malik, all these people, so they might be just wanting their cases to be taken back. A specific letter was written in September asking for the details of these 4 or 5 people who were BJP MPs and MLAs. Now, what basis did these 131 cases, how did Anilaji or Mr. Whosoever from the Vishesh Sachiv, how did they sort out these 131 cases out of the 1100 cases? It's all right, the procedure is there, but the district magistrate has to send up a report, then a committee, the Home Secretary is saying that he has no knowledge of this. So if he has no knowledge of this, the Home Secretary of the state, then who is holding this meeting? And it's a 3 members that sir would say, a committee who actually approves that. Where is this coming from? The 131 cases, can we please sort out? Do they have affiliations to a political party, or this is like the 22,000 cases you just said would be between a particular year, all 22,000 cases would be withdrawn because there was too much pressure on the judiciary. That is what was said in the Vidhan Sabha. So Anilaji can explain it better. Muzaffarnagar Riots are something that the Samajwadi Party is actually, it's a very sensitive matter. We are very, I mean, it happened in our government, and we, if any other names are coming through Anila, that this person was involved, this person was instigated, I would say please file a FIR against him also, send him or her to jail, but do not make false accusations and do not make light of what happened in Muzaffarnagar or Shamli. And the district magistrate and this Mr. Rajesh must be asked for an explanation that who was actually instructing him. And there is also a series of cases where the police has filed the final report under the last government, where this same Mr. Rajesh has written 2 letters, and he has said that now the case will restart again. So is that also politically motivated? Please look at your law department and your home department, Aniraji. Don't run this government like it's your personal fiefdom. And nobody is saying anything, but if you are coming up with names of Samajwadi Party people did this, and a particular person did this, then have the courage to go to court. Have the courage to go to court, ma'am.
Okay, let her respond.
Please file a FIR.
Can I come in now, Tanvi?
Yes, let Anila Singh respond. Go ahead, please.
Okay. To start with, first of all, like Johi Singh ji was just now mentioning about the 22,000 cases. So she knows it very well, and everybody knows it in a very clear way that these 22 cases are not just meant for Bharatiya Janata Party. It is for all political parties. So do not try to portray here that Bharatiya Janata Party, these cases will be removed from the Bharatiya Janata Party leaders only. First, let me say, and the role which Samajwadi played in Muzaffarnagar Riot, nobody can forget that. You were being reprimanded by Supreme Court as well, and Supreme Court said that both the political parties in the center and in the state, they are
okay. 1 minute, ladies, please. Anila Singh and Ms. Johi Singh, please. I request you, please. Let's not make this a yelling match. No, both of you ladies will have to calm down for a bit. Take 30 seconds. Take a deep breath, Anila Singh. Take a deep breath. Meanwhile, to our other panelists and to our viewers, Anila Singh, please take a deep breath. Let's not yell over each other like this.
Muzaffarnagar and Shamli.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Here is the reality. The government intends to withdraw 20,000 cases against political leaders that the government says were politically motivated cases. 20,000 cases just gone like that. So tomorrow, any local leader, any party member can decide, stand up, incite a riot, get the votes going, and get a clean chit. With absolutely no worries about their future, because you can always turn around and say the case against me was politically motivated, viewers. It has become a joke now. Mr. Vikram Singh, 20,000 politically motivated cases, if the government withdraws them, who's going to scrutinize whether the right ones are being withdrawn or not? Do we expect Samajwadi Party to come out and tell us, or the BSP or the other people to come out and tell us if they also benefit?
No one. Tanvi, I think we seem to be going back to the Stone Ages in the Anglo-Saxon law. The king can do no wrong. And obviously, every politician today's times happens to be the King of England. The king can do no wrong, long live the king. When your time comes, withdraw the cases registered against you. It's only people like you and me who will have cases registered against them, will be prosecuted, and that is the fait accompli for all of us. Look, as Mr. Amit Khemka had said, that withdrawal of cases must happen in the rarest of the rare cases. Before 1940, even this level of withdrawal of cases did not happen in pre-independence era. What kind of atrocity are we subjecting ourselves to? This is rioting. Serious cases of rioting, the like of which we have not seen for decades. And if we are going to be so liberal and magnanimous towards the accused, in any crime there are three aspects: the victim, the accused, and the state. The victim has no voice in these cases. The accused obviously is dictating his terms. And there is a government which is ever ready to oblige the accused. It seems to be a very scary kind of a situation. I do hope that I am wrong, but if this be the case, I would say that the interpretation of the rule of law, right, equality before law is a fundamental right. Where is the equality of the aggressor and the accused? We are putting aggressor and the accused on the same pedestal. Is this the equality that we have got in our Constitution of India? There seems to be a deeper rot that has set in. Law is unsparing, and the implementation of law should be absolutely faithful and unsparing. No accused should go scot-free. And I would fault Rajesh Singh. Yes, the Hindi translation of what you mentioned is "Mujhe कहने का निर्देश हुआ है." I am directed to ask a question and then a report is compiled.
Yes.
I do hope that this mass exercise for mass exhuming of cases and turning them over into the cold storage really does not happen. Better sense prevails in the government.
Yes, and I want to read out what one of the riot accused, who was an elected representative at the time when the incident took place, says. Is the law only for politicians or common people? I am also riot accused. If cases against the chief minister can be withdrawn, why can't other cases be withdrawn? अगर चीफ मिनिस्टर के केस में रुकावट डाल दी गई तो हमारे लिए क्यों नहीं? Is that what you're now pacifying, Anila Singh? That sentiment. What about us? Because last year in May 2017, the government went and told the Allahabad court that no, we will not prosecute or we will not continue with the prosecution against Yogi Adityanath, who by then was already the chief minister. That's the precedent you've set.
Tanvi, if we talk about 20,000, if we talk about these 20,000 cases, almost 20,000 cases, then I just want to tell you that there is a difference in between these cases and the cases which we are talking about, Muzaffarnagar, the riot cases we are talking about. So these almost 20,000 cases are of the nature of, or I can say that they are being booked under 107 and 109 CRPC, and they are being heard in the court of city magistrate, and when somebody is released from it, he has to sign a bond. So the nature of these cases, about 20,000 cases, are totally different from the cases which we are talking about, the communal riot which happened in Muzaffarnagar and Shamli. So we can't compare these two. And again, I'm going to say in very bold manner that these cases, 20,000 cases, are not meant for Bharatiya Janata Party. It is for all political parties. It is going to reduce the burden on our legal system as well. So we should not criticize about them. And secondly,
asked to explain.
And secondly, Tanvi, who can forget that when riots were happening and people were crying and dying, Samajwadi party leaders, they were dancing and singing with the actors and actresses in Safai Mahotsav. So if today Samajwadi party wants to portray, oh, we are so-called secular party and we are so caring party and we have got a halo around our heads, these people are not going to get convinced.
Take the word secular.
In today's date. Even in today's date, the people living in Muzaffarnagar and Shamli, I mean, they are really angry and frustrated from Samajwadi Party because
yes, that has been made very clear. Samajwadi Party is not ruling the state of Uttar Pradesh.
They had been together.
Samajwadi Party is not governing the state of
Uttar
Uttar Pradesh. BJP is. I think they have been taught a lesson already.
I just need to tell you that
they have been taught a lesson already by the voters, Anila Singh. The point is, don't get overconfident because you have been voted to power.
They were so together. And they wanted to do politics on it. Tanvi, let me tell you the reality of here, because I belong to that part of the area, and I being the Jat, and I have really seen the torture these people have gone through. Not only the Jats, but the Muslims who had been sufferer on the hands of, because of the Samajwadi Party and the Congress. I just need to tell you, they knew that they are going to get defeated in 2014, both of the political parties. So they wanted to play a game here.
So you're going to give a clean sheet to those who incited violence.
Hell with Jats.
So you're going to give a clean sheet to those who incited violence. You're going to give a clean sheet to those who attempted murder. You are going to give a clean sheet to those who made hateful speeches, who provoked violence, who provoked riots, Anila Singh. If you think by doing that you're going to be any different from the Samajwadi Party, then you're horribly mistaken. And remember, the cycle of election comes every 5 years. The next time, voters are going to remember what you're doing here. Vikram Singh wanted to come in, and then I'm going to go across to Amit Khemka. Vikram Singh, my question was this. In May 2017, the Chief Minister has come, or the government has gone to Allahabad court and said, we are not going to carry out any prosecution against the Chief Minister. In 2007, he may have been accused of making a hateful, provocative, hate speech. But now he is the Chief Minister. There is no evidence. Nothing has been done. So we are not going to take any action. Now you have more riot accused standing up and saying, अगर आप चीफ मिनिस्टर के लिए कर सकते हैं तो हमारे लिए क्यों नहीं करेंगे, हमारे भी केसेस बंद कर दीजिए. Are we looking at a bigger dangerous precedent here?
Obviously. Tanvi, you sow a wind and you reap a whirlwind. Any wrong precedent, once started, it will be very difficult to roll the clock backwards. Therefore, it is said that law is unsparing and we do not make any exceptions as far as the implementation of rule of law is concerned. And I also remember, like Mr. Khemka was said, I was told by my teachers, withdrawal of cases against accused is an immoral act. Never be privy or a party to withdrawal of criminal cases, because that is misplaced justice and a sense of compassion. You have to be cruel to be kind, and please understand, wish the accused well, let them fight the case, and if they are acquitted by the court of law, so be it. But you should not sit in judgment. Once he has been charge sheeted, it is for the courts to decide whether he is guilty or innocent. Do not take sides thereafter. And this is exactly what we are doing now, sitting in judgment over the fact that he was guilty, he was not guilty, he could not have done it. Let the courts decide whether he is capable of doing it or not capable of doing it. How can we anticipate or predict what the court's outcome is likely to be? And to sit in judgment now perhaps is not the best way to dispense governance and justice. One. Then the second thing is what Anila ji was saying, that perhaps Anila ji was hinting that these are preventive actions under section 151 of the CRPC. Attempt to commit a cognizable offence if not apprehended. 1163 of the CRPC, perhaps to detain or to keep security for maintaining law and order and peace. But these cases and these detentions die a natural death suo motu. I would rather that we check up the cases, the pedigree and the antecedents of all these 22. I strongly suspect that these are substantive cases of the Indian Penal Code and other acts and not preventive action.
Amit Khemka, to you too. मुझे ये बात समझ में नहीं आ रही है कि अगर सरकार ने गवर्नमेंट मशीनरी को ये बोल दिया कि चेक करो, उन्होंने सारी डिटेल्स मंगा ली. These letters that I have, where the official is clearly asking for all the details, अपराध की धाराएं, न्यायालय का नाम, जहां प्रकरण लंबित है, and goes on to न्यायालय में मुकदमे की करंट स्थिति क्या है. ये सब पेपर पे उनको अगर इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाए, the current status of the case, what are the sections and what has been submitted, can the government start taking a decision of whether there is merit in this case or not? Isn't that the job of the courts? Can the courts do anything in this case?
Yeah. Tanvi, earlier, before the Allahabad High Court judgment, the situation was that government almost had a free hand. But now, after the recent last year's Allahabad High Court judgment, the situation is a little better. Because now, the law says that it is the public prosecutor who has to take a decision whether the recommendation of the government is right, legally correct or not. One, and then the court to which the application is filed has to take a decision, and even then it can be challenged under Article 226 in the High Court of the concerned High Court. So the situation is now much better. However, you know, let me just go back to what Anila ji of course has a very tough job to do, because on one hand she is saying that all these riots were orchestrated by Congress and Samajwadi Party. On the other hand, she is saying that not only we are withdrawing the cases against our own politicians, those 22,000 cases, we are withdrawing cases against the politicians of other parties also. So what are you rewarding them of? What are you rewarding them for? You know, if they are so bad, at least you should withdraw only the cases against your own party, which is holier than thou. Why are you withdrawing cases against these criminals? So at least don't do that and spare us of that. And look, Tanvi, what is happening? You know, we all know that it was very attractive. The politics has become a very attractive profession where the people come to earn money, to earn power, to earn all kinds of, to do all kinds of licensing. Now this is another thing, another bonus or another attraction which is there. Now it is for gundas. Now it is for criminals, that if we go in a winning political party and if it comes to power, even our cases will be withdrawn. Even the crimes which we have done, they will also, you know, we'll go scot-free. And look, I am asking, let me ask one very simple question to the government of the day. Do they not have any faith in the judicial system? Do they not have faith in the courts? Why can't they wait for the courts to decide? I have the court ask them to withdraw these cases.
Okay.
What are they doing? Why are they not having faith in the judicial system?
Ms. Anila Singh, you want to respond to that, and then I have a question for Juhi Singh as well.
Yeah. You know, we totally have faith in judicial system, but what to do with the political parties who rule on the basis of vindictive politics? I will give you a very small example. When Samajwadi Party was in the power, and one case happened in Moradabad. There is a place cart, and there was a dispute in between two categories of people about the loudspeaker thing. And just imagine, like few youngsters, they were being called in Thana. We just want to inquire, we'll ask you a few questions. And they all were young Hindu boys from one particular caste, and the police simply threw them behind the bars. So this is what was happening during Samajwadi Party, just to please people of one particular religion. They were doing atrocities on other. So that is incorrect. That is absolutely incorrect. And as a BJP worker,
why don't you let the courts
BJP
decide?
Totally has got faith.
Why don't you let the courts
faith
decide?
In legal system. Court is going to decide, but there is even this, the procedure which is being initiated, even that is also part of the legal system only. We haven't made it. It is there. It is already there. Okay, we are simply following it. We haven't created it. And one more thing here, Tanvi, I just want to tell Mr. Khemka, even good, many good people are also there in politics. That is why we are world's largest democracy, and we are surviving on it. I think I and Juhi Singh, we are in politics without, for no selfish reasons. We are simply there to do good things in politics. I hope Juhi is going to agree with me.
I don't think
we agree with you, Anila ji,
Anila ji, if you genuinely believe in it, then perhaps you need to take a tougher stand here today and say, we will provide justice to those 62 victims and to their families. We will ensure rehabilitation takes place. We will ensure that people who actually did that riot, killed those people, will be brought to book. I haven't heard a single word from the entire Uttar Pradesh government or from you tonight about that.
100%, 100%. Tanvi, 100%.
I haven't
100%.
heard a single word from the Uttar Pradesh government on that. They are more interested in bailing out people who may have done them favors in the past.
People who have been murdered in this riot, they will get the justice.
Well, it's been 5 years. Juhi Singh, I feel this is how it works. This government has come out and said 20,000 cases which are politically motivated cases. We will close those cases. Other political parties will also benefit from these false cases. In your tenure, during your government's tenure, when investigation was carried out in the 2013 riots, no leadership was indicted. Not the government, not the government officials, not any political leader. So are you all working together to gain benefits out of that, forgetting what the Aam Aadmi really wants here? You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Tanvi, with all due respect to everybody on the panel, including Anila ji, we have a chief minister now who has refused the prosecution sanction for himself. It's not as if the CBI asked for sanction and he personally refused that this case will not be carried out against him. Let's put that on record. Secondly, don't oblige the other political parties. If you feel that Samajwadi Party was such a bad party and it orchestrated these riots and we were responsible for many things, then the question should be asked to the BJP, 1 year of rule. Please register the FIRs against us. Don't withdraw the cases. Pick and choose those 22,000 cases you are planning to withdraw. Don't withdraw them. Please put everybody behind bars. Take everybody to the court. Establish your fast track courts. There's a very important issue in that. Supreme Court has actually given this order that the cases against politicians should be fast tracked. So there are many in this 131. If you go through the list, who are there? MPs, MLAs. I am not taking any particular party's name, but thankfully I have never had to mention my caste on a panel to pull an argument. I am very happy with that. Please go through that. Don't use veneer and hide behind the facade that you want the cases withdrawn against yourself. Hence, you are taking the excuse that you are obliging people who may have been falsely accused. That's ridiculous. That's not an argument which stands. And yes, anybody who's a criminal, as you said, you are a party with a difference, with a very moral high aptitude. As a Samajwadi Party spokesperson, please take people to court.
But you are attacking Anila Singh today and talking about the chief minister blocking prosecution against himself. Your party gave your government a clean sheet as well when Muzaffarnagar riots happened. The government of the day was Samajwadi Party, and only the local officials, lower officials were blamed.
Tanvi, we did not give the people a clean sheet. A commission was established. Sitting Supreme Court, High Court judge was heading it. He gave his report. He gave his findings. He went to Muzaffarnagar. People may agree with those findings. People may not agree with those findings. But it was not the government of the day, like Mr. Rakesh or Rajesh or whoever this Vishesh Sachiv who was seeking direction to withdraw cases. Definitely not.
Okay, I have few viewers on the phone line patiently waiting. Let's give them a word on the show. Milan Berman calling us from Goa. Good evening, Milan.
Good evening, madam. I'm very happy to see you, Mr. Tanvi, on this mirror. I used to see in Times Now, because this is a very serious case. Because 300, these rioters, if they are free now, even Uttar Pradesh government is giving them free and ordering them to come out from the jail. It is only on 2019 which election is coming. They will be using these people and there will be a complete bloodshed in the UP. Please, madam, you stop it. Continuous campaign you do. Honorable Supreme Court, I'm sure somebody will go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court will take some more decision and Supreme Court will stop. Even the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, definitely will stop these cases to be dropped. The 20,000 cases is a mockery of democracy. These are all 2019 elections. Nothing else I can tell you, madam.
Thank you so much for calling and sharing your views. Going across to Vishwas, calling us from Pune. Good evening, Vishwas.
Hi. Thank you, Tanvi, for giving me this opportunity. And this is just a question to all the panelists. And I really thank former DGP who has really given his insight, as well as the lawyer panelist who is really given the insight. Whatever I want to say is that both the parties which are there now is just look at the underwater current, what is going to happen now. If this 131 cases which are withdrawn now by the recommendation of whichever the party is, now just imagine 2,000 cases on all the politicians, as you rightly mentioned that you scratch my back and they will scratch yours, is the case which is happening now. What a mockery this would be of the judiciary system.
Yes, so we must raise our voice, Vishwas, and we must bring this issue to everybody's notice, and somebody has to, then step in and stop this. We still have faith in our judiciary, so hopefully that will happen, which is why we also brought in our experts to try and understand what can be done so that the netas don't get away with this. Last caller, Tony is calling us. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Ms. Tanvi Shukla. Thank you very much for sparing your time. I would like to salute all the panelists, and a very good suggestion by Anila Singh to withdraw all these cases. Anila Singh, I think we should go one step ahead. Withdraw all the police posts, sack the police posts. You can save a lot of money. You have no employment there, nothing. Let UP, show its true colors to the world. Total riot state. That's good. Each politician, criminal killing the other. So why do you require policemen? They're spending crores of rupees going down the drain. For what?
Right, Tony, I can understand your anger. I completely understand where you're coming from. Thank you for calling us. I believe we've got our one more caller on the phone line. Teresa Pereira calling us from Bengaluru. Good evening, Teresa.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Go ahead, please. What would you want to say?
We Indians have got very good judiciary system, highest authority. Let the judiciary decide. Let us not make a mockery of our politics, mockery of our judiciary system. I prefer all these cases should not be withdrawn. Let the judiciary system look into it. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let me take all of those points across to Anila Singh and ask Anila Singh, can you give us any assurance or a sense of how will we ensure that the right or the actual false cases get withdrawn and not the ones where there is a genuine crime that's happened? How will we keep a track?
Tanvi, first of all, FIRs are being lodged, and according to those FIRs, people are behind the bars. So it is on the papers that who is behind the bar because of which CRPC or IPC. So there is absolutely no case when somebody says that anybody can, any case can be withdrawn who from the person who is facing facing 302 or 307 or any other heinous crime IPC. So I just want to make this thing very clear here. But again, as you told me this is going to be my final statement, I just want to say two things here. There is a difference in between the working of Samajwadi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Samajwadi Party definitely
Samajwadi Party tried working. They clearly failed in meeting the expectations of the voters, and they were kicked out. It doesn't matter. What matters is who was voted to power, and Yogi Adityanath's government was voted to power. The kind of efficiency that he has shown in making all these decisions, I wish his government had actually shown that kind of efficiency in fixing the problem of the Gorakhpur hospital, where children are still dying because of lack of resources, because of overcrowding, because of lack of funds. But no, let us focus on blocking prosecution against the Chief Minister, perhaps the first Chief Minister to do that, who said, no, there will not be any prosecution in a hateful speech inciting violence case against me. And then they didn't stop there. They went on to decide that 20,000 cases against political leaders, against netas will be withdrawn. Who's going to keep a track of what you decide? It's purely in the hands of government right now. And the public prosecutor, as our experts said, they didn't just stop there. They have now begun the process of sending out letters and circulars to district magistrates, asking them for information for 131 riot cases. There could be more, we don't know. These are the documents we have accessed. So we must raise our voice tonight. We must question the Yogi government and question them repeatedly. Ensure that this comes under the notice of the judiciary. Only they can stop this travesty of justice. 62 people were killed, 50,000 were displaced, rendered homeless, lives destroyed. And look at the way our netas are dealing with this 5 years on. It has become a joke. Let us ensure that this doesn't get set as an example for more rioters, especially as we head into another election year. We'll keep a track of this story. For now, thank you so much for joining us on The Last Word.